Hey, welcome to Headbangers Ball. Back on the
Rangers!
ball. Band that we haven't had for a bit. When was the last time we ran into you? Was it right?
I don't even know, man.
It was a while, but we've been seeing. We've been seeing segments.
Blur, man.
We've been seeing segments with Dominic with you guys in the studio in LA. Yeah. So we were watching, but I personally wasn't with you guys there. But we were watching.
No,
the whole
you weren't.
I know. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to go into that.
We invited you down, but I guess you were too busy.
No, don't start giving me a hard time. But the new record I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks before it was coming out to go and get it. And I know you've gotten it before, and the new record's awesome. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but talk about other stuff. I know you just got on the road, and since, we talk about tattoos a lot on Headbangers Ball. You got a tattooed like the old style way they do it in Japan.
Yeah, man.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Did both of you got it done?
No, man.
Now tell me how they do it, because I heard this
The guy's name is Horrigan, right? And he's like, for 9 generations, his family's been tattooing traditionally, you know what I'm saying? And it was like a gesture of respect and like, friendship, man. He gave it to us for free. He tattooed us for free.
And it's with like
bamboo a lot of bowing going
or
on.
something like that?
Well, the tattoo needles are on the end of a long bamboo stick. Yeah, bust that one out. Yeah, I'll show you.
It's cool, man. Yo, there's 12 needles on the end of a bamboo stick,
the
right?
red ones
Right
in the middle there.
12 needles on the end of the stick, and what he does
does it take longer than the usual tattoos?
Yeah, it's different. And the needles are like a ½ inch long, so they're going deeper. It takes longer to heal. And, it's cool, because he just dips it in and just stabs you, like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Back here. It says Biohazard.
That says Biohazard in Japanese. The one on my back says
He
respect.
just jigged me for like 3 hours, man. It was cool, man. He came up to the hotel, he did it in the hotel room. It was nice.
We're going to find out a lot about the other stuff that's going on with Biohazard, like the tour, the shows, the show that almost sort of didn't happen in front of about 100,000 people, sort of.
Yo, Donington,
We're going
man.
to talk about that and more when Headbangers Ball
Joke.
continues with Biohazard.
Peace out.
That was Biohazard, Tales from the Hard Side. New record's out in the store. We've been watching the whole process of making the Biohazard record, and now that it's out, when you go back and listen to it, and it's been done for you guys for a couple months now, do you listen to it and say, I wish we would have done things this way, or would have made changes, or done this, or are you extremely satisfied with the product?
I'm satisfied, man. It was really spontaneous. A lot of the record was written right there when we were recording it, so it was like just happening, man. Things were just happening, coming together. It was like this big puzzle just came together, It's like we recorded it, and we stepped back and we looked at what we did, and we were all pretty happy with it. We're really happy with it. Ed Stasium was great to work with, man. The guy to produce it, he's awesome.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that. It was a moment, we captured it, and there's no use bitching about, oh, this could have sounded better or that. I think it's a vibe. The whole album is it's a stamp in time of where we were at with our personal lives, with our view of what was going on in the world, and how we were playing our instruments those days. That's what it is.
Does it feel to you that you're at like a real turning point right now? Because the other record did good and it had its core fans, but it seems like already with this record not even out that long, that there's a bigger buzz about Biohazard. A lot of people think you guys are going to be the new hard band to break, and even though you've been out for a while.
That sounds nice and everything. Like, we hear a lot of things like, oh, it's hitting charts or it's selling good, or people say what they expect us to be, but we just concentrate on the shows, man. We're a live band, When we're on tour, the only thing we're worried about is playing the music. Like Evan said, we record the album. It's just capturing it in time. But the music is always growing, always changing. Every night a song is a little bit different. It's a living, breathing thing, a song, Mm-hmm. So we're more
did it mean,
on the
for
tours.
instance, the record, I think, entered Billboard in the top 50.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show, there's a lot of Biohazard. It must have made you feel pretty good. Or does it really not matter? A lot of times you hear bands that say it doesn't matter. I don't.
It matters only as a reflection of what's going on with your band and how you're reaching people. Lets you know if you're reaching the people or not. That's all it really matters to us.
Feeling,
But when we do interviews, like let's say we're in Europe and they say, well, your album's been in the top 10 for 4 weeks now, and how does it make you feel? And we say, well, it makes us feel like people are probably getting the message, and it's really important to us because our lyrics are all really, anyone who knows Biohazard, knows our music, knows our lyrics are all based on our own true life experiences and reality to us, and the way we see this world, just spiraling down. And we're trying to make a little positive effort. We're trying to make a little, I don't know.
Trying to send a positive message in a very negative world. Like the video you just saw, Tales from the Hard Side, is about what he said, making choices. The whole album is about, you know, whether or not we're gonna let the biohazard get us in life, you know. Biohazard is what we sing about, man. We ain't biohazard. You know, we're just 4 dudes from Brooklyn, we're just like everybody else. We ain't no rock stars, we ain't on no trip. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Biohazard is out there, man. It's real, man. You know, when you leave this show and you put down these cameras, you go out on the street, it's there. You know, and you gotta watch it, man. You know, and in all ways of life, man, everywhere, all over the world. You know, when we first started out, we thought Brooklyn was the center of the universe, man, because that's the only world we knew. Now we go all over the world. Biohazard's been in 22 countries already. You know, we see the kids are everywhere. Everybody's got beef. Everybody's got problems. There's racism everywhere, man. You know, it's not just black and white. It's the Germans and the Turkish, you know, over in Germany, and then you got blacks and whites over here, and Jewish in Brooklyn, and you got
the Irish
you go
and
out
the
to
English.
LA, and you got Mexican and black and white, and you got, you know, it's everywhere. It's on, man, and it's booking up to the top, man. It's skyrocketing everywhere.
We're going to talk to the other guys from, sorry to cut you off, we're going to talk to the other guys in Biohazard as the Headbangers Ball continues. Right now we're going to play something new. This is Stone Temple Pilots, Vaseline.
Peace out.
That was Typo Negative. If you're going to go see Motley Crue is out on the road right now. Typo Negative, as well as King's X, are opening up for Motley Crue. So go check out Motley Crue on the road now as we speak. And we are going to be talking to the other guys in Biohazard in just a bit. But let me tell you what we've got coming up on the Headbangers Ball. Next Saturday night, we've got Gene Simmons. The following Saturday, we've got Soundgarden. And then the Saturday after that, 3 weeks from now, we've got Alice Cooper. And it all ties in somehow, because Chris Cornell from Soundgarden actually wrote 2 songs on Alice Cooper's new record. And it ties in with Gene Simmons because he's going to be on the Headbangers Ball as well as the other 2. See, that's how it ties in. Right now, it's time for us to play a video from the Wild Hearts, so stay tuned. We got more Biohazard in a little bit. Thanks for kicking around. Back on the Headbangers Ball, we're here with Billy and Danny right now. And we're talking to the other guys. And I want to ask you a question, because I know that you've always been a band that's really liked playing in kind of like hot, sweaty clubs where you can kind of really like feel the crowd. I mean, Evan was talking about the crowds even coming up on stage when you're playing in front of a lot of people. Is it tough kind of making the transition now? Because now you're playing in front of big crowds. I mean, you just sold out the Roseland. And even though I heard the crowd was still going nuts there, you know, do you kind of miss the intimacy of the smaller clubs?
Seems like a lot of times when you're we're getting up to a different level and reaching more kids, you know, and we're playing bigger places and they're selling out like Roseland, and we just did a tour like that over in Europe, and Germany was pretty much like 2,000, between 1,500 and 2,000 seaters every night. And a lot of times you have, you know, these big corporations that do, you know, put on the shows or whatever, and they have to have these barricades and stuff like that, and we don't, you know, if you pay money to come and see us play, you should be able to do what you want to do to have a good time. And that's the hardest thing for us to adapt to, like going out with Pantera, when we're playing in front of like maybe 10 to 20,000 seater people, you know, that many people in one club, and there may be seats all the way up, so we have to rely on a different energy, you know. It's more of us putting out energy, and you can't get it bounced back as much because the kids can't stage dive, they can't come up on stage or anything like that. So that's the hardest thing for us to deal with. But other than that, you know, we're reaching more people, and that's what we've always wanted to do.
It's a show either way. You know, we love playing regardless of whether it's 200 people or, you know, like playing Donington last week for 50,000 people or whatever. It's you know, like Billy said, we have to adapt to a new kind of energy.
Is it starting to become almost overwhelming though, from going to playing the 400 to now you guys can play anywhere in America and have thousands of people there? I mean, does it get to be kind of a trip, like saying,
Well,
wow, there's
it's
more
definitely a trip. Yeah. Because, you know, we think about 5-6 years ago, you know, driving from Brooklyn to Keensburg, New Jersey, and having, you know, being so bugged out and happy that there's 105 kids there. Like, wow, you know, the kids came to see us on a Sunday. Yeah. And now, you know, we played the Roseland the other night, and, you know, it was sold out. You know, it's a big difference to go from playing, you know, little things like that. But, you know, it's something we've worked hard for. You know, we've been together 6 years, and it's definitely been, you know, a growing process. It hasn't been something that hit us all of a sudden, you know, like one day we woke up from
overnight
the band,
sensation,
and the next day,
Biohazard.
yeah, we were playing Castle Donington. It wasn't like that. It took us 6 years to get there. So we take it all in stride.
Okay, stick around because we got more with Biohazard. Biohazard's our guest on Headbangers Ball. New record is out in the stores. It's called State of the World Address. I hope you got it. I do. I like it. It's different stuff on this record, including you've got a little collaboration going with Sendog. Tell me how that whole thing.
That's
a guy from Cypress Hill.
doing a video for that. It's the next video. Sendog is a friend of ours who we asked, we heard his voice in the song and asked if he wanted to come down and jam with us. So while we were, rehearsing the song before we recorded it, he came down, we jammed it, and it worked out, it clicked. We became friends, close friends, and he came down to the studio and laid the tracks with us, and it's cool.
Because there's always been, you did like a little crossover thing with Onyx. Is there any other plans of you doing anything? Like maybe doing something with Cypress Hill or?
We're open to do anything like that. We're definitely not married to any style.
Because it's healthy for music, for people to keep their ears open for other kinds of stuff.
Because, just because we're Biohazard and a lot of people perceive us as a heavy band doesn't mean, we have to stay within the rules of being, a heavy band, We could do whatever we want, and if playing with bands like Onyx is something different, we'll do it, if it's cool, We're open to all kinds of different music. And the same thing with our music, like on the record we did certain pieces that, like the intro to a song called Failed Territories, like an orchestrated piece with piano and guitar. It's something a lot of people wouldn't expect from a band like Biohazard, but it's just our way of saying that we're not limited by anybody's boundaries of music or anything.
Is there any songs for each of you that would be a song on this record?
If we didn't think 100 and prove 100% of the songs, then they would be on the album. It's Biohazard's all for one and one for all. There's four of us, But as far as the open mind thing, that's really important to us. I think by us being like that, we don't, we're not trying to be any certain way. We're just Biohazard, and we play and do what we feel like doing.
Because some people say, especially in this field, some people will listen to like a metal record or a thrash record or something and say, well, I like thrash, so I can't like punk, or I like hip hop, so I ain't gonna listen to metal, which is like, I've got everything from.
It's an old
everything,
attitude. It's an old attitude.
What happens a lot of times is you go into a record store and you see different sections. If you go and you buy a hardcore album, you miss out on all the great rap music and all this other types of music.
So you like sections like loud and weak. That would be better. Like
we're doing for How It Is, we're actually doing a remix of that. DJ Lethal's gonna do a remix. So it's about doing what you want to do in life and being true to yourself.
We're gonna come back with more Biohazard, but right now let's play something a little bit older. This is Punishment. Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. We're here with Biohazard. Now, for people that know nothing about Biohazard or know nothing about Brooklyn, let's say, some kid lives in some rich neighborhood somewhere up in Southern California. You think if they listen to the lyrics and listen to the record and actually read the lyrics, think this is going to try to explain a little slice of life from another part of town? Or?
Well, I think that in the States it's a lot easier to deal with, and kids can relate to it a lot easier. A lot of questions we get like that are come from European countries, in different cities around Europe. But we were in Holland one night. We all went out to the show. We just got off tour with Downset and Dog Eat Dog in Europe, and we were hanging out at a bar. We come outside, and Bobby and I were hanging out with all the bands, and we had some problems with these people, right? The guy gets in his car and comes out, sticks his arm out of the car with a knife like this long, and comes charging after us. And I jumped out of the way, but my eyes were like, holy, we're in the middle of Holland somewhere, and so my point is that, I'm not going to curse like I always do.
Okay, what about, for instance, in Japan?
In Japan?
Japan is a whole different lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, but Tokyo's a big city though, and we thought Japan was going to be all little grass huts or whatever. We get to Tokyo and it was like New York on crack. It was like 10 million people crammed into a tiny space.
Godzilla.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of crime and corruption in Japan, but the people there are so hush hush about everything like that, and they're so respectful. And they don't say anything to Americans about it.
Okay, now what if things go really good, record sells millions of records, everybody's happy and everybody's great, and you have a great time on tour, and you come back and you've got to write the next record. Is the next record going to be like, we're Biohazard and we're really happy to do it?
Unless the world becomes a utopian
things are really
society.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. Just because our lives will improve, or maybe improve if the record is a success, doesn't mean that the world's going to become a better place. No. We're just,
do you have any happy songs? Can you see Biohazard coming out with the real
We have DFL, And Down for Life, a song about people who haven't talked or dissed us behind our backs.
There's always been friends. Yeah, because you always actually have had stuff about friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's we write about what's important to us,
Okay. We're gonna play some commercials, and then we'll be back with more Headbangers Ball and Biohazard. We're back with Biohazard on the Headbangers Ball, and the new record's out. We've been talking about it a lot. I'm sure you got it. I hope you like it. And live, because For a lot, I mean, since the record's doing so well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have actually bought the record, then seen you live. As before, it would have started that everybody would have seen Biohazard live. Oh, this band rules. Let's go get the record. I mean, you excited to get back out? I mean, you actually been playing a lot of shows. I mean, tell me something about the schedule you had before.
Well, we've been on tour. We finished the record first week of March and went straight out on tour with Fishbone, and we did like a month, about 5 weeks of shows with Fishbone on the stage, which was great. You know, because a lot of people were expecting to see us with a hardcore band, with a thrash band. And we go out with Fishbone. It's something a little different, and it was a little different flavor, a little different crowd, but it was great. And then we came home from that. We did the Tales from the Hard Side video, and then went straight to Europe, where we've been, straight to Japan. We did a week there, first time we'd been there, and it was awesome. And then from there, we went for like 6 weeks in Europe, and we just came back the other day.
Wasn't like 40 shows in 41 days, or 41 shows in 40 days, or something ridiculous?
Yeah, we had 1 day off the whole time.
Yippee.
The last 3 shows we played, we got to play 10 songs total. The kids went crazy and stormed the barricade and came over and came on stage. And they pulled us off after like 4 songs.
Now, what about America? When is America going to get to see Biohazard live? Because you're in the midst of an American tour now, right?
Yeah, we start Pantera. We're doing Pantera right now.
Starts tomorrow, actually.
So it's Pantera and Biohazard and
Sepultura.
Yeah.
So this is like the awesome show for the summer.
This is this tour we always wanted to do.
We're really psyched.
And this is all in America, so people, if you get to go out and see it. New record, State of the World Address. Biohazard, look for Biohazard with Pantera and Sepultura. Definitely smoking show. New video is going to be for what?
How It Is.
Really? And you have Sendog in the video?
Sendog, yeah.
All right. So that'll be, I'm sure we'll have it on Headbangers
Couple
soon.
weeks.
Thanks again for stopping by. Always nice to see you guys.
Thanks, Vic.
And new Biohazard record. We're going to play something brand new from 9 Inch Nails that if you've heard the song on the record, yes, it is censored, not for obvious reasons. And we're going to play it for you right now. This is brand new from 9 Inch Nails. Hey! It's time to wrap things up with the last video of the night, and this comes from another Brooklyn band, being Biohazard, the other Brooklyn band. And this one comes from Life of Agony. Before we play the video, I want to remind you one thing. Next Saturday on the Headbangers Ball, we've got Gene Simmons coming by, and that's going to be cool. I mean, we've had Kiss on before, and actually we get more mail about Kiss than almost any other band that's on the ball. So Gene Simmons is going to be here, and he's going to be talking about the new Kiss tribute record that's finally out in the stores that everybody's been talking about, and he's going to be talking about... Oh, is this when something's happening? Oh, no, you're not going to throw this at me, are you?
Oh, man, we're giving you a kick.
Oh, right on. My friend, and I thought you guys left without saying goodbye.
Happy birthday, Rick.
Right on.
Blow your candles.
Yeah, all right, man.
You missed one name,
Thanks. No. Oh. I thought I was that close to not doing it. Oh, man, I was that close.
Wrestling is done.